Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What about?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good week so far and a productive Tuesday, unlike me in a lot of ways, but we'll get into that later. Monkey and Satsu, how are you? How are you, Satsu?
I am good. I didn't have a bad day, so therefore, good day.
That's good. Monkey, how are you?
I am well. I slept like a drunk baby last night.
What the? How do you know what a drunk baby sleeps like?
Well, I've seen how babies sleep, and I've seen how drunks sleep. If you put those together, that's how I slept.
All right, just making sure.
And that's because by the time we finished our game stream last night, I'd been up for 24 hours, and I didn't even realize it.
No.
I was getting so dizzy last night and couldn't figure out why. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I've been up a long, long time.
Monkey was one of those whiskey on the finger parents.
I thought about it. Don't get me wrong, but no, never tried that. My son had the thing where they cry all the time. What's that called?
Colic.
Yes, colic. And yeah, there were times like get that baby a whiskey, but we never did it. And I got to talk to Little Butt today on FaceCam. I was helping my daughter with her computer, and she wanted me to actually be able to see the screen. So she had me use FaceTime on her mom's phone because I don't have Apple. And Little Butt almost immediately took the phone over, went and showed me her new room, and she has her own bathroom, y'all, complete with the Elsa and Anna shower curtain.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, she was happy to show Grandpa everything, including the back of her door for some reason.
Look, I have my own door.
She shows me all around the room, and it's like she was trying to think of other things to show me, and then she put it behind the door and goes, "There's the back of the door." She's so damn cute. Real quick, before we move on to anything else, before I ask you how you're doing, Scribe, which I will do here in a moment. It was brought to my attention that today is the 25th anniversary of the parental unit of Some Dumb American.
Oh,
yes.
Do they listen to us when she's not on?
I don't know. I really don't. But we got to talk to her dad one night on stream, and he was really awesome. And her mom is a fan of mine because why wouldn't you be? They're both good people, and congratulations on 25 years, guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats, yo.
Scribbles, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I had an adventure on the way to work this morning.
Not you almost got ran over again, right?
No, this is much creepier.
Uh-oh.
So as veteran viewers of the show know, I get up at ridiculous o'clock in the morning. About 4 a.m. so I can get to work at 5. I head out from where I live at about 4:30 to get to where I need to be by 5. And I'm walking in the dark most days. And so I have one route that I take, and it's a straight down the hill kind of deal. And so I'm on my usual route this morning, about maybe a mile into it. And I come up on this the sidewalk kind of goes up this little sloping hill thing, and I come up over the hill, and as I crest the hill, there's someone standing in the middle of the sidewalk ahead of me in the dark. There's not any lights around or anything, just some guy standing there facing me. Can't tell if he's staring at me, but he's standing still as I'm walking towards him. So I get a little like, okay, because I never see anyone else walking around out there at that time of day.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it is a rare occasion that I see another human being walking around at that time of day. So I just kind of like, okay. So I start walking, and I'm just going to pass him and go on my way. As I come up to him, he's just on one side of the sidewalk. So as I'm, just coming up to him, he turns, and then in lockstep paces me side by side
What the fuck?
for the next block and a half. This is happening now. This is like this particular space of territory. There's no one around. Like, this is like office parks that are just closed and everything's dark. So we're like the only two people around. There's no one around. There's no calling for help or anything. It's 4:30 in the morning, and I've got this guy inches away from me, matching my pace, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm not quite sure what to do here. I'm thinking, okay, he's going to turn off at one of these intersections at one point or something. No, he paces me for about a block and a half. And then there's a part where the sidewalk comes back down the little sloping hill thing, and it kind of has a little cutback.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm able to step over the cutback a little bit and get ahead of him by a few feet. And so now I'm ahead of him, and I've got a few feet between me and him, but he's still keeping a pace directly behind me. And I'm like, okay. And I mean, I know I'm, not trying to be paranoid about it or anything, but my fists start clenching. I'm like, okay, is this guy going to do something? I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I continue on my way, get down the hill, and there's a point at which I can either go straight ahead to an intersection and take a crosswalk across to an other street and start heading towards my office building, or I can sort of cut left into a parking lot of a grocery complex, grocery store deal, and then sort of like kitty corner over to another place that's right next to my office park. So I decide I'm going to go the route I usually don't go, and I go off to the left into the parking lot. And so I make my way down a little hill over across the parking lot, and I look behind me, and he's not following me. I'm like, okay, fine. Don't know, I mean, like I said, there's nothing else around there. There really is only one place to go if you're headed that direction, because there's nothing around except for closed buildings at that point. So I get over to the other side of the street, I cross the crosswalk, start heading up towards my complex, and I look over to the side, and he's coming from where I usually would be coming from.
Oh.
And heading my direction. Like the route I usually would take to get to my place of business, he's coming that direction. So I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So I noodle around into my the little office area. I've got maybe half a block ahead of him, and I think I've lost him because I have to it's hard to explain. But anyway, I go around to a little courtyard in the middle of the building to get into my office from a side door, and I go into the office. Now, usually I'm always the first one there. I'm usually the guy that turns the lights on. I don't turn the lights on at first, so I'm like, I don't want him to know where I work.
Right.
So I run over to the front windows and I look outside, and he is just coming around from the blind spot of the parking garage deal that I had to cross over to get into my office building. And he proceeds forward rather than going the direction I went and going past the front side or the side of the building. And so I just kind of watch him through the windows, and I see him. I'm thinking, okay, on the opposite side of my office building, across the street, there's a big shopping center. Maybe he works over there. Maybe that's where he's going, because there's only so many places around here you would have a reason to walk to at this time of the morning. And that would be one of the retail stores or, places like where I work. And so I watch him go all the way down, and then he makes a left down one side of the little street, but then he stops, looks around, turns around, and goes back the other way. And I'm thinking, was he looking for me? Because I lost him. And I was like, was he looking around for me? So I waited another like 5 minutes before I turned the lights on, because I was like, what the fuck was that? That was so fucking creepy. I've never had anybody do that before. So there's more to this story, but it's not worth talking about. Anyway, I'm really interested to see what happens tomorrow morning as I'm walking to work. Because if I come across this guy again, I don't know.
Do you have a rape whistle?
Well, like when my parents called today and I was talking to him and I told him the story, and the first thing my dad says, "You got mace?" I was like, "No, you should get some mace." I'm like, "Well, I don't have any nearby, so I guess tomorrow I'll just get raped." And he starts laughing. My mother's like, "Do you have a flashlight?" And I'm like, "What? I'm gonna beat him to death with a mag light? Like, what the fuck, Mom?" Anyway,
real quick, guys in chat, if their video keeps going out on them, that's YouTube, guys. Just keep refreshing.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Nothing. I don't have OBS, so you can't blame it on that. Anyway, yes.
Dude, I was really hoping that story was going to end with he walked past and kept going the opposite way, and he got to the end of the street. And once he got to the end of the street, he stopped, turned around, and looked you right in the eye from where he was.
Yeah, well,
I was just about to be like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so again, I'm going to be interested to see what happens tomorrow morning. If I spy this guy again, well, see, I don't really have any options. There's only one way to get to work. I don't have like an alternate path. I can't go across the street because there's no sidewalk on the other side of the street. There's no alternate route to get to where I need to go. So I'm not quite sure. But if I do encounter him again, I'll definitely have another story to tell tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Now people are having trouble even getting it to refresh.
Yeah, I'm getting the purple monkey
chat.
Faithless says, can you identify him? I could, but I'm not going to here. I've told the story to plenty of people in my everyday life, so they have some idea of what was going down on the off chance that something kooky happens, or I don't know. I don't think anything. I think he might have been just trying to be creepy, doing some kind of Halloween thing or something. But yeah, I've never had anybody like be that fucking creepy. So I don't know. Anyway, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, I might have been Michael Myers to death or something. So we'll find out. Anyway, all that being said, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And please share our stuff if you can actually hear this, because apparently the video is all cutting out. So I don't know.
I was going to say the least you could do is live stream your walk. So if you get killed, we can play it on the stream tomorrow.
I don't have a smartphone.
You don't have a smartphone, and I don't have the ability to show that very well.
Yeah, I'm not going to Periscope my own impending doom. Sorry.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes wide open tomorrow. See what happens. Anyway, that was all long preamble. We're already into the news time. So let me read the story that's actually inspired the title of tonight's stream, which, of course, is a song lyric, but also refers to the fact that Turkey official reports that the Saudi journalist's body was cut into pieces after he was murdered.
Nice.
Let's see. A Saudi mission to interrogate and possibly abduct journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Istanbul was organized by a high-ranking officer with the General Intelligence Presidency, Saudi Arabia's main intelligence service, 3 sources familiar with the case told CNN. One of those sources describes the officer involved as close to the inner circle of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It is unclear whether the Crown Prince authorized an interrogation or abduction. CNN has previously reported that several U.S. officials have said that any such operation could not have happened without the prince's direct knowledge. A second source said the officer had assembled and set his own team to interrogate Khashoggi. They suspected Khashoggi of having ties to the kingdom's arch-rival, Qatar. There has been no evidence to substantiate Khashoggi had such ties. Another source told CNN the mission's organizer was not transparent about what he told Riyadh, explaining why the government had no clear information for days. It's not clear whether these elements will be included in the report ordered by the Saudi authorities into the affair. Yeah, because, the Fox investigating the hen house. On Tuesday, President Trump tweeted that Crown Prince Mohammed had said in a phone call that he had started and would expand a full investigation into the matter, and that answers would be forthcoming shortly. Khashoggi's body was cut into pieces after he was killed 2 weeks ago at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, a Turkish official told CNN on Tuesday. The claim, which was first made to the New York Times earlier in the investigation into Khashoggi's fate, comes after Turkish officials searched the consulate for 9 hours on Monday night. The Turkish official would not comment on the disposal method of the body. And thank you, Sanguine. But Scribe, you are a guy, and as the left keeps saying, we never have to worry when walking alone. Well, I mean, they're wrong.
They are wrong.
I don't know what to tell you. They're wrong. Yeah, it was so odd. It was like, why would you do that? And the entire time that I'm walking, I'm thinking, okay, it was just bad timing. I'm going to outpace him. No, he's keeping in like you might as well have like been synchronizing us, because my steps and his steps were exactly the same. We were shoulder to shoulder. And I walk fast. You know, walking is my main mode of transportation. So compared to the average Joe, I walk relatively fast. It was so bizarre.
Anyway. Real quick, in regards to the dude, what?
Apparently, it's all of YouTube. People are having trouble watching anything on YouTube right now.
Oh, good. I feel part of the club now.
Oh. Okay, well, this is just, even if everybody can't hear it, this is still a relevant question that I can ask you guys. Mm-hmm. Do you guys feel like the talk about this dude getting killed or whatever is really kind of blah? You know what I mean? Like, it seems really, it's almost like people are talking about it. Yeah, like a TV show or something. They like, oh yeah, he went in there and he didn't come out. I think he was murdered. And that's kind of, yeah,
it's such a I mean, for lack of a better phrase, it's a he said, she said story. And the information is so spotty and unsubstantiated, it's hard to tell what's going on. And, you know, how are we supposed to feel about it, I guess? I don't know. I mean, is this an international incident? What?
I'm sorry. I'm still troubleshooting the whole YouTube thing. I'll be quiet. Keep going. I'm listening to you guys, but yeah, my YouTube, nothing comes up on it.
Okay. Well, I lost my train of thought. So let me see if YouTube's working. Oh, yeah. No, I got a blank page.
Wow.
YouTube is, well, of course it would happen on my night, I suppose. So guys, if you can't hear us, then I'm talking to the ether. Hopefully the people listening to this in the future, granted that this is actually being recorded and archived somewhere, then yeah. So let us know if you can hear us, but otherwise I'm going to continue on the off chance that we are actually, you know, being recorded and this is going into the system somewhere at some point.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but this is, it kind of makes it weird to do a video when nobody, or a live stream that's not live.
So Sanguine can hear us, Jacob Jet can hear us, audio is perfect, video is dead. Well, granted, it's a good thing then that we don't stream video, most of the time. Yeah. So if you can still hear us, great. So let's continue under the assumption we have video.
Go ahead.
No, SDA, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with Satsu with the way this has been treated. I mean, this should be even if not an international incident, which it is. I mean, this is a modern day murder mystery right in front of our eyes, where this dude just fucking disappeared, and we find out later, oh, some rogue agents cut him up.
Well, do you expect anything to happen? Here's my cynical side going. Okay, even if somehow Saudi Arabia comes out and somehow investigates themselves and admits that the guy was murdered, they'll classify it as some kind of accident, or he had a heart attack or something, or you know. And even if they say, you know, yeah, we shot him in the head, then we cut up his body. What does America do? I mean, the cynical side of me says we don't have any way to punish Saudi Arabia. They've got us by the balls in oil. So what happens?
Well, they don't necessarily have us by the balls in oil anymore. We can produce even more than they can. It's a little more expensive for the what is it? Fracking is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you deal with something like this. This is what the politicians get paid for. I know that's I don't have a good answer.
Well, the only other comparison I have is like on the you know, anything they can do, we can do worse. How many people did we capture, interrogate, and or died in our custody during the last Iraq War?
Sure.
So try. I mean, not as the Trump administration, but as a nation, it's kind of hard to point the finger at them and say they're doing something that's morally repugnant when we did the exact same thing. Now, granted, depending on which individual you're talking about, most of the people we captured and interrogated and or died in our custody were not journalists and weren't technically critics of the administration kind of thing, but a life's a life. So.
They also weren't just somebody who was going in to update paperwork for a marriage license.
Yeah, that too. I mean, there are differences in the individual, but if Saudi Arabia or decides to justify it by saying we had a belief that he was a terrorist, that's been used as the excuse for doing a whole host of horrible things on our own side of the equation. So this isn't me justifying either one of those things, but I'm not quite sure how we respond as a nation, telling them that they're wrong to have done that if they decide to justify it as a terrorism issue, without us also looking like we're being a bunch of hypocrites, which I suppose we could do. But
anyway, it was just a situation.
Yeah, thank you, Sanguine. Heart attack 101, dismember the body. Yeah, well, that's only a report, guys. So far as I can tell, we've only heard that is what happened to his body. There has not been any evidence forthcoming to say that's what happened to his body. And if they did do that to his body, I'm pretty sure they won't find it. So,
yeah, it's just weird because they said he already kind of self-exiled himself because he felt that he was being targeted in the first place. Mm-hmm. And then the moment he gets back, they're just like, all right, here it is. Here's the chance. Yeah. Oh, that's a little too perfect for me, but
so on to other stuff, because why not some politics? So far we've had floated Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden. Those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head that have are on the possible list of Democratic contenders for the presidency in 2020. We have a new one today. A name I have not heard. Sorry?
Kanye West?
No. Julian Castro, a name I have not heard mentioned in any way, shape, or form in a long time. But anyway, Julian Castro says he's likely to challenge Trump in 2020. Former Obama administration official and San Antonio mayor Julian Castro said he is likely to challenge President Donald Trump in 2020. Quote, I'm likely to do it. I have a strong vision for the country. I believe that our country is going in the wrong direction, and that needs new leadership. I'll make a final decision after November, but I'm inclined to do it, Castro said in an interview published by Rolling Stone on Tuesday. Castro, who was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development during the Obama administration, has stoked speculation about his presidential ambitions in a series of public comments and with increasingly frequent travel to presidential primary states. He had been rumored to be a contender for the vice presidential spot in the 2016 Democratic ticket. Over the weekend, the Texas Democrat was in Iowa campaigning for J.D. Scholten, a candidate for Iowa's 4th congressional district. It was Castro's second trip to the state since August. Oh, yeah, he's serious. Quote, I have to say I felt at home walking in, Castro told a crowd at the event. Oh, my God. Yeah, this guy's running.
He is, and somebody mentioned it. I can't remember if it was last night or this morning. He doesn't have a chance in hell. He doesn't. Wrong year, bud. Wrong year. He might make a decent VP pick.
Well, at this point, I can't discount anybody or anything because Trump.
You don't have any Trumpian candidates.
Well, I haven't seen Julian Castro on a stage debating people, so I don't know. I'd say that his having worked in the Obama administration and being a mayor of San Antonio doesn't sound like weighty enough a job history to justify running for president. But then, like I say, Trump. So I don't know.
The vast majority of Senate or presidential candidates come from the Senate.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Castro, wrong year, bud. Wrong year.
I'm like I say, I'm not discounting any possibility at this point. I wouldn't. I mean, 4 years ago, if somebody told me Trump was going to become president, I would have laughed in their face. So yeah.
Breaking news. I'm being told that the news itself is reporting that YouTube is down worldwide.
Ooh, Russian bots.
I don't know how we're even able to do the Hangout.
Well, Hangout and YouTube are two different things.
Just integrated, but
yeah, I'm wondering if people can still hear us. How people can still hear us if YouTube is down. But I'm not going to complain if you can. So you guys let us know if suddenly you can't hear us. Obviously, if the chat stops moving, we'll know that we're out of luck. I don't see the chat moving on my end, so maybe it's...
Oh, I still see chat moving.
Down to 67 people. Oh, is it? I've got audio, says Robert Doe. I can still hear. Okay, well, again, you can hear us now, and anybody in the future, you can hopefully hear us after whatever's going on with YouTube.
Can you guys hear my refrigerator?
Yes.
Scribe, you can hear it?
I heard it grinding for a second, so kind of.
Okay.
Susan broke something at YouTube.
Yeah.
It's obviously her fault.
Yeah, they're probably testing out how to effectively meet the UK's new laws, so they shut down the entire site. That's the only way. Or you know what it was? It was their new anti-swearing algorithm, and it said, find any video that has a bad word in it and take it off the air, and the entire site crashed.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, moving on. Just a couple more small stories. I found this kind of interesting. USA Gymnastics loses its second president in 2 months. Quit, apparently. The revolving door of USA Gymnastics top leadership keeps spinning as the organization struggles to recover from the Larry Nassar scandal. And if you don't remember the Larry Nassar scandal, he was a doctor or physician for USA Gymnastics who was found to have been molesting his female patients for years and years and years, until they finally, got the evidence and put him in jail. And with people investigating this and letting him continue to do it. Less than a week after taking over USA Gymnastics, former U.S. Representative Mary Bono has resigned as interim president. Bono took the helm just a month after embattled president and CEO Carrie Perry. That sounds like a comic book character name. Quit. Perry, who had only been on the job for 9 months herself, was criticized for what many considered to be inadequate action and boilerplate sound bites after the Nassar sex abuse scandal. On Tuesday, 4 days after she started her new job, Bono announced her resignation. Quote, "It was with profound regret, coupled with a deep love for the sport of gymnastics and respect for those who aspire to be great gymnasts, that I today tendered my resignation as the interim CEO of USA Gymnastics. My withdrawal comes in the wake of personal attacks that, left undefended, would have made my leading USAG a liability for the organization." Bono came under fire twice during her first few days leading the USA Gymnastics. First, a tweet surfaced of Bono from September defacing a Nike logo after Nike featured former NFL quarterback and civil rights activist Colin Kaepernick, civil rights activist, in an ad campaign. Oh no, she had an opinion against Colin Kaepernick. That makes it bad.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Nike is a huge sponsor of Olympic champion Simone Biles, the biggest star of USA Gymnastics. Biles called out Bono on her own tweet. Quote, "Don't worry, it's not like we needed a smarter USA Gymnastics president or any sponsors or anything," Biles tweeted. Others said Bono's tweet was tone deaf, saying it was the suppression of athletes' voices that allowed Nassar's abuse to fester. Right. So disagreeing with Nike over Colin Kaepernick is not listening and believing to other people about sexual abuse?
Yes.
Quote, "I deeply regret posting the tweet because I respect everyone's views and their fundamental right to express them." Well, people aren't respecting your right to express yourself, but you're giving in. So which is it? Anyway. Very odd, like one tweet, and suddenly we're back to the James Gunn thing all over again. You say the wrong thing, oh, your entire career's got to be called into question.
But this is so weird. I mean, the whole thing with for those of you who don't know what happened with the U.S. gymnastics team, they had a doctor that was sexually molesting girls for what, 2 decades, some shit like that.
It was a long time, something like that.
And the last president, the president that was over it when it happened, they got rid of that one. They brought in a new one who they decided wasn't firm enough on it, so they got rid of that one. And then they're getting rid of this one because of Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, well, that was one of the. Yeah, so I just,
I get getting rid of the one that they don't think was serious enough against the. I forget her statements, but there was something she said that came off as though she was being dismissive of the abuse the girls had gone through.
Hmm.
So at least I get that one because it's related to the scandal and everything.
Yeah.
But over Colin Kaepernick?
Oh yeah, that was one of the things. And then her other, like you said, her comments or whatever. But anyway,
don't if you put women in positions of power, everything immediately gets better up under that person?
Well,
Yes.
that's what I'm told. I put women into executive positions, and I guess they're indemnified from being criticized or making mistakes or disagreeing with a shoe company's ad campaign, because that's a crime against humanity and civil rights activism, I guess. Anyway, the last story I had pulled up, and we are going a little late, guys. Sorry, it's just my little stalker story and the YouTube craziness. Another migrant caravan is heading to the U.S.
Yay!
Now, I'd heard when the first story about this kind of thing broke a few months ago, I read that this isn't anything new. This thing kind of happens all the time. It's getting more press now because of Trump's immigration policy. So, not quite sure if this is that significant, but let's see. I'm more curious to see how many people start out in the group and how many are left by the time they get past Mexico. A new migrant caravan is heading to the United States, and U.S. President Donald Trump has already weighed in, threatening to cut foreign aid to Honduras if the group isn't brought back to the Central American country. The caravan, which organizers say numbers thousands of people, formed in the Honduran city of San Pedro Sula on Saturday and crossed into Guatemala on Monday. Guatemala detained one of the caravan's coordinators on Tuesday, a Guatemalan government source told CNN. But other members of the caravan were still trekking north. Well, Guatemala's border policy is stupid.
Yeah.
Members of the group told CNN en Espanol that they had decided to join the caravan and head to the United States because of insecurity and a lack of jobs in Honduras. Many are traveling with children in tow and putting their children at risk and their own lives. Good job. As local media documented the first steps of the group's journey over the weekend, government officials across the region spoke out, advising them to turn back. The U.S. Embassy in Honduras warned of the dangers of the journey and noted that the United States would enforce its immigration laws. Mexico's foreign ministry released a statement noting that travelers should consult its immigration laws before trying to enter. Quote, please bear in mind that current legislation does not permit entry into Mexico if requirements to travel to a neighboring country have not been met, the statement said. To avoid surprises, please inform yourself before starting out. But the caravan continued undeterred. Police in Esquipulas, Guatemala, about 10 kilometers from the border, blocked their path for nearly 2 hours on Monday, according to local media reports, but eventually allowed them to continue their journey after the migrants refused to turn back. You guys can't come in. Well, we're not going anywhere. Okay, you can come in. That makes all the sense in the world. Good job, guys. Thank you, Sanguine. Turns out they just get cattier. I'm not sure what that means.
What story were we talking about?
Gymnastics thing? Or the women in positions of power?
Oh, yeah. That's probably
okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you get a woman at the top of the chain, then other women have to. Yeah. Let's see. By Tuesday morning, the caravan had caught the attention of Trump, who tweeted about it. Quote, the United States has strongly informed the president of Honduras that if the large caravan of people heading to the U.S. is not stopped and brought back to Honduras, no more money or aid will be given to Honduras, effective immediately. Vice President Mike Pence also weighed in, tweeting that he'd spoken with Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez and Guatemalan President Jimmy Morales. Trump's message to Honduras, he said, also applies to Guatemala. Quote, no more aid if it's not stopped. So all these people are putting their lives and the lives of their children in the hands of just fate, nature, and anybody else trying to take advantage of them along the way. And the law, if they run into Mexican authorities or I don't know any other Central American country that actually decides to secure its borders in some fashion.
I don't know, man. Like I said before, I appreciate the fact that we do have somebody who actually gives a shit about that stuff, because it's just like, no, man, no, stop letting these people put their kids and their families in danger, and fucking put your foot down when it comes to this shit.
Yeah, and just having thousands and thousands of more people, if you think our immigration problem is just going to get better because we have thousands more people clogging the process as it is, yeah, that's not going to help anything.
Yeah, and like all the people on the other side who are arguing for them to be able to gain entry, and Trump's just like, okay, that's more kids for me to separate.
Maniac Man 2030 says, so they're economic migrants. Yes, apparently so. Economic migrants. They're not. There wasn't anything in there about them fleeing violence or seeking asylum. They're trying to find better jobs, which is not a usually a good argument to making it into the United States, even under a leniency thing of like asylum or shelter or anything. So anyway, that's all the news I had. Of course, the big story right now is that YouTube's not working, which is interesting. I don't know if that's still going on. I'm scared to refresh my own page on the off chance I can't get it back. So continue on. Do you guys have any other stories, or shall we move on?
I don't have anything.
Me neither.
Let's see. Type F in respect of Scribe and the rest of the Lords of the Night for their stream being cut because YouTube went down. Well, Mashisu, if you can hear this in the future, people can still hear us. Those of us that are, let's see. Duct Tape says, I can't chat, but I can still hear. Okay. Well, it's spotty depending on where you are and who you are, I suppose. So, like I say, we're doing this for posterity and for no other reason. So guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, whether you'll hear them or not, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise to get to them all because YouTube is having a conniption fit right now. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. How about one from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier? Your privacy is important. I don't... Go away, ad. Okay. Largo woman chews, swallows her crack pipe during arrest, police say.
Wow.
That's one way to get rid of the evidence, I guess. Daryl Hutton took, quote, one big swallow, unquote, and the pipe was gone, police said. Hutton, 52, of Largo, was arrested Friday night after Largo police said she tried to destroy evidence by chewing and swallowing a glass crack pipe. According to her arrest report, Hutton was looking through her purse for her boyfriend's truck keys when an officer saw a, quote, small glass pipe with Brillo and burnt residue inside, which is consistent with a crack pipe, unquote. As she rummaged through her bag, Officer Robert Drum said he saw her grab for the pipe and tried to place her under arrest. Quote, while I was doing this, she placed the pipe inside her mouth and refused to open it. I made several attempts to have her open her mouth. I observed her chewing and attempting to swallow, refusing to open her mouth. Once in custody, Drum said Hutton, quote, made a big swallow and finally opened her mouth, revealing a cut on its roof, but no pipe in sight. Drum said he looked in her purse again, but the pipe was gone. So now you're going to have your internal organs cut up. Good job.
Yeah. She's going to regret that one.
Oh, yeah. When her like lower bowel starts getting sliced up by a piece of glass in there.
Yikes.
So anyway, there's that. Are people... I just got chat back. I don't know how secure it is. Well, chat's as secure as whatever you decide to post.
Oh, and if it does make it through her body without slicing her up, it's got to come out the other end, and it ain't going to be the same.
No.
I think he was talking about how secure it is and how long it'll stay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out, guys. It's all sort of... YouTube has the downs, says Justin. Oh, this one. This is from a couple days ago, but we haven't read it on here yet that I know of. Massive Dynamics sends us this one. Florida suspect, 22, allegedly attacked his mother with sausages. Police in Florida arrested a hungry 22-year-old man who allegedly pelted his mother with sausages because she accidentally bumped into him while making his dinner. Spoiled much? Hermes Kalea Gasparin attacked his mother on October 8th in their Bradenton home, the Smoking Gun reported. The food fight erupted when Gasparin demanded his mom make him dinner, and she said she was busy. When she did begin to cook his meal, sausages, she accidentally knocked into her son. He threw the sausages at her, hitting her in the eye, and then put his hands on her neck and pushed her. And that's the end of the story. I presume he's been arrested on assault charges or something. So, okay. Are you guys there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Everybody's so quiet. I'm like, did the whole thing die on me?
No, we're still good.
That is not a news story. That's a promotional ad. Okay, this one comes from Froggy. Rat pee stains chocolate at Family Dollar. Grocers get inspected and a Publix fails. What? That is the weirdest chain of words I've read today. And this is from the Miami Herald. In the weeks since our last grocers report, only 6 food sellers in Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Monroe counties failed inspections. But the ones that did failed with either major violations or major names, including Publix and Family Dollar. We do not control who gets inspected or how strictly the Department of Agriculture people cite establishments. Here are the latest citations and the details. So this reminds me of like the police blotter kind of thing. Aroma Market. The October 8th inspection started this way. Quote, no policy and procedures in place to handle vomit and diarrhea events provided norovirus guidance, unquote. Okay. Quote, no hand soap at hand sink during time of inspection.
Where was this at?
This is the Aroma Market in Boca Raton.
All right.
Let's see. Sheraton Bakery. The inspector called out the management with this note, quote, person in charge does not ensure active manager controlled as evidenced by the following violations. Quote, approved source, hand washing, unclean equipment, and cross-contamination. Not quite sure what all that means.
They're not cleaning right, basically.
In the bakery, employees were, quote, changing tasks, entering and exiting the area, touching hair and face, working with raw dough, cooking and preparing foods, and not washing hands at all, unquote.
Yeah, that's the cross-contamination part, touching your hand or your face and then food, touching raw food and then cooked food. That's yeah.
Family Dollar. Wednesday's inspection report noted no hot water in the employee's women's restroom, and the inspector, quote, observed several candies, chips, sunflower seeds, granola, packaged cereal chewed through. The inspector also found, quote, feces and urine stains throughout retail area on products such as marshmallows, chips, chocolate bars, sunflower seeds, cereal, granola, etc., observed feces under and on top of shelves throughout the retail area, even in aisles without food. Nesting material can be found in the back right corner of the retail area. This is their evidence. This is their, okay, I'm quoting it as I'm reading it as it's written. So this is their, THERE. This is their evidence of rub marks were noted. Rub marks led to open space above walls of establishment. It is thought this is their nesting area. I don't want to go buy food in Florida now. Not that I had planned on it, but.
Yeah, somebody needs to be watching their food better.
Sounds like a Russian wrote this.
You're gonna get they're gonna get their fucking stores shut down doing shit like that.
Let's see. Okay, this one comes from Frosted Glass. Immigrant moms have had more preterm babies since Trump was elected. So babies being born early is Trump's fault.
So are they jumping up and down trying to get it out?
The study looked at all births in New York and found an especially pronounced effect among foreign-born Latina mothers. Pronounced effect of what? Of Trump?
That's what it sounds like they're saying.
Quote, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people, unquote. That was Trump talking about Mexicans in 2015 with a message that became central. He wasn't talking about Mexicans, he's talking about illegal immigrants. What? This is Vox.com, by the way, so
of course
your framing devices will vary. Since then, the rhetoric has only gotten uglier and the policies harsher for Mexicans, not Mexicans, illegal immigrants. For Mexicans and other immigrants to the U.S. No. Illegal immigrants from wherever. Guatemala is included now, do you know? Children have been taken from their parents at the border. They've been taken from adults claiming to be their parents. Whether or not they have proof of that has to be determined, you idiots. You hear of child trafficking? You hear about the girl that was kidnapped by her mother and brought up here? She wasn't supposed to be the proper guardian of that child. We have to look into those things when they do that kind of shit.
Scribe, stop bringing up irrelevant shit.
I know. Thank you, Sanguine. They are saying stress is causing preemies. Yeah, no, I get it, but who's putting that stress on themselves? Trump or trying to come here illegally?
Yeah, stop coming here illegally.
This goes on for a long time, guys. So I don't know. The new study, led by researchers at the Harvard Chan School of Public Health and published in the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health, looked at the premature birth rate in New York City among U.S.-born women and immigrants before and after the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The researchers decided to focus on preemie rates because they're an important and objective way to take a reading of population health. Early births are tracked at the state level and encoded on birth certificates, so they're not a health outcome dependent on self-reported data. Stress and trauma are also risk factors for early births, and researchers in the past have seen birth outcomes worsen after events like 9/11 and immigration raids. You mean like those done by Obama?
Yep.
I mean, or every other administration previous to this?
Under Obama and even under George Bush, it wasn't played up like it is right now. Because Trump dared to say it out loud, which is the same thing everybody said. He just said it a little ruder. I mean, we literally have Obama on tape. We have, going back to Clinton at least, have every fucking president saying the same goddamn thing. We need to fix immigration. We need to stop illegals from coming here. And anyway.
Thank you, Sanguine. Well, you can blame brown people for their choices, duh. No, just people for their choices. If you put yourself at risk of being arrested or deported by your own choices, then yeah, you're going to live a more stressful life looking over your shoulder every 10 minutes on the off chance that someone's going to recognize you as not belonging here, especially if you have children or have children on the way. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're going to blame this on Trump, I don't know. I mean, yeah, if his policies make people more nervous about being here illegally, well, welcome to the wonderful world of breaking the law, I guess. Okay, KRAZZ really wants me to notice him, senpai, or her, or Zer. I don't know, but there you go. But, you know, nagging me only works once in a while, just so you know. Let's see. We'll do a couple more.
Kraz, don't worry. We love you.
Let's see. Shady Grin. Oh, so, yeah. Shady Grin sent us the story about the girl that sent the homophobic threats to herself. We talked about that.
Yeah, I fucking lost that story. I need to find it.
Well, it's on MSS News right now. It's like 7 or 8 stories down with Shady Grin on there, so you can find that. It's a Daily Mail version of it.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go. This one comes from New Fate 26, again on the immigration topic. FBI raids San Juan city offices weeks after Trump alleges corruption. Or maybe, oh, sorry. I thought that said ICE. Was that Did it say FBI or ICE? I must have misread that. I apologize. FBI agents raided San Juan's municipal building on Tuesday amid an investigation into purchasing prices conducted by city officials, including Mayor Carmen Yulin Cruz. Video posted on Twitter shows several uniformed FBI agents proceeding into the building Tuesday morning. Local journalist Luis Guardiola noted in a tweet that dozens of FBI agents were involved in the raid. A spokesman for the agency told news service El Nuevo Dia, I don't know how to pronounce that, that Tuesday's raid was related to an ongoing investigation into whether the mayor's office and other city officials had shown favoritism when the city agreed to a contract with the company BR Solutions for $4.7 million over 2 years. BR Solutions is owned by Leonel Pereira O'Neill, a Puerto Rican businessman who has donated to the campaigns of several local politicians, including Cruz's, according to the news service. Payola scheme. Quote, the raid helps us to confirm whether the allegations of irregularities are substantiated or not, FBI spokesman Carlos Osorio told the website. Okay, well, there you go. And let's see. Okay. Oh, so I give attention to someone and then I get criticized for not pronouncing their tag correctly. Okay, I see how it is. All right. So okay, this is the thing. This comes from the Reaper. Yeah, this is how you commemorate someone. Student baked cookies containing their grandmother's ashes and served them to classmates.
Ew.
There is no denying everyone loves a good crispy sugar cookie. Now, a sugar cookie laced with human ashes, well, that's another story. Yes, a family from Davis, California is shocked and upset after their son came home and told them a student brought cookies to school packed with her grandmother's ashes and passed them around the classroom. The student, who attends Da Vinci Charter Academy High School, claimed the tainted cookies were made by the suspect 2 weeks ago. To protect their identities in fear of repercussion from the district, the student remained anonymous, but the parents were upset as to how the school handled the situation. According to the student's mother, school administrators questioned her son, fearing he may have eaten one of the cookies. After being questioned, he was asked to submit and sign a statement about what had happened and was told by administrators to not tell anyone. The student's mother met with Da Vinci Charter Academy principal Tyler Millsap, demanding a copy of the statement her son was asked to sign. The mother noticed the district seemed to be more concerned about protecting themselves than protecting the students who consumed the product.
No.
Or should I say consume the grandmother? Yeah, a private charter school trying to protect their reputation? Yeah, I don't know. Since the incident, there has allegedly been no notification sent to parents about the situation. Principal Millsap responded to the allegations, stating they cannot comment on the confidential student matter, but the physical and social, emotional, safe... What? I'm reading it as it's written. Let me try that again. Principal Millsap responded to the allegations, stating they cannot comment on the confidential student matter, but the physical and social emotional safe to the students was their first priority. Safe, not safety.
Safety.
Or safety of, or something. Okay. Who wrote this? Rare.us. Never heard of them. Okay. Anyway. So
they could still comment on whether or not it happened.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sarah asked where that took place.
Oh, let me find that again. Sorry. Davis, California. So the town called Davis. All right, this will be the last one, guys, and then we'll move on. This one comes from senior staff reporter Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Oh, and there's supposed to be a YouTube video attached to this story, but I get the internal server error monkey.
Nice.
Anyway, but I have the story itself. Florida man caught in child sexting claimed that he just wanted to see undercover police action.
Oh, bullshit.
That is amazing. A man in Florida caught in a child predator sting told authorities, quote, He only came to the meeting place because he believed it was an undercover sting, and he thought it would be cool to see it in action, unquote.
How are you going to see it in action if they have nobody to arrest but you, dummy?
The sting, called Operation Unlawful Attraction, Jesus Christ, was conducted by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office and announced on Monday. The Sheriff's Office said they arrested 7 men who, quote, traveled to parking lots across Volusia County to meet children for sex. Among the 7 was James Bowen, 34, a barbershop owner who tried to convince deputies he knew what was happening all along and just wanted to see a sting in person. His claim didn't convince authorities, who had chat and text records of his with an undercover detective he believed was a 14-year-old girl. Bowen was charged on 4 counts, including using a computer to seduce, solicit, lure a child, and traveling to seduce, solicit, and lure a child. Let's see. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said it also arrested 2 men who told undercover detectives in chats about previous sex crimes committed against minors.
Jesus.
Well, I'm glad they caught the guys.
Yeah, but
yeah. I just came here to see it in action, guys. I love cops. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for the stories. I hope you heard most or some of them, either now or in the future. Keep letting us know how the reception and audio and everything else is going, because I'm curious to see what happens with YouTube now, obviously. So on to YouTube time. Satsu, what have you been up to?
I didn't do anything YouTube-wise, but I did do a Twitch stream today to test out how that would work. And I was messing around with the settings, and I got the new, I got this Stream Deck Mini or whatever, and I was testing that out. And everything played out pretty good. We played a little bit of Monster Hunter just to kind of test it out. But I'll be starting my series playing Dead Space 1 and 2 for my kind of October Halloween thing. And we'll be playing through both of those pretty soon. Within the next couple days is when I'll announce when it'll actually start and come up with a time frame and everything. So be on the lookout for that. Should be fun. I am a coward when it comes to horror games, so you guys like talking shit about me and making fun of me anyway. This is a perfect opportunity to do so.
There you go. Monkey, aside from sleeping very well, what have you been up to today?
Oh, I did a stream again this morning, and nothing else.
Okay. I didn't do any video work today, but I did work some more on the Halloween fan fiction for the 2 Girls, 1 Stream show that'll happen on the Wednesday the 31st. It's shaping up to be about 3 pages long, and I'm making it as Lovecraftian as I can in vocabulary and tone. But I've got some days left to get it finished, so I'll probably finish up a first draft, sleep on it, and then do some revisions between now and then. So hopefully people like it. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to, because I know part of the fun of this is that I've used a lot of $5 words in this thing. And I'm not going to be the one reading it. I'm going to leave that to Weibo and SDA to have to struggle through, because I know that'll be hilarious in and of itself. But all the same, I'd like to find a way to have a copy of it available to people if they want to hear it cleanly read. So I may create a reading of it video for Halloween that I'll post after their show, so I don't do any spoilers for anybody, where I'll read it in as appropriate a tone as I can, and probably put some spooky music in the background or something. That is a thing I'm thinking of doing, so we'll see if I get around to that. But yeah, otherwise I didn't work on anything else today. I'm still kind of slogging through that hour-and-a-half long panel on race stuff that the private college put together, that I'm still looking at with the racially discriminatory a cappella group, which is just, these things boggle my mind. I really, and I've this isn't really deep topic territory, but I'm just sort of tangential question. If there's anybody in the chat or anybody listening to this in the near future who has any, you know, knowledge or experience with equal employment laws, I have been for almost the entire time I've had my channel. I am very, very curious to know how, you know, flatly stated diversity initiatives in companies, wherein they say either in no uncertain terms or terms that are only barely veiled otherwise, that they have policies that hire on the basis of gender, race, sexual orientation, etc. How those things are not immediately subject to investigation for civil rights violations. I'm really curious because I see this stuff more and more and more. I've done countless videos on it with different companies every time practically, and I just don't get why this is okay or how this is legal. Maybe it is, and I've said this several times. I don't understand how it's not. So maybe there's something about the law that I'm just, you know, obviously ignorant of. So if anybody out there is a lawyer or happens to know somebody who's expert or has some experience with civil rights or EEOC laws, I'd be really curious to know if I'm missing something, because I would really love to be, you know, more knowledgeable about this just as I come across these things. Thank you, James Colley. Cleveland 2 cents gets owned for Halloween October streams.
Anyway, okay.
Well, just walk over that one, I guess.
So I went over to Facebook to see if anybody over on Facebook was talking about the YouTube thing, and this girl on my feed was like, "Did YouTube mobile go stupid for everyone, or is it just me?" And the first comment she got says, "Get off the internet, you fucking cat."
Nice.
Cat?
Yeah, just like.
Is that a new thing? There's just so much new slang coming my way that I'm just not familiar with, between NPC and what was the other one? Something else happened. There was something else that I've seen people use. It's suddenly escaping my mind. Is cat a new thing, or is that just something they said?
Okay, and then the other thing I seen when I scrolled down is apparently there's a little white Colin Kaepernick in Australia, a little 9-year-old girl who refused to stand for the Australian national anthem. And
okay,
yeah, because she's refusing to stand for Indigenous Australians.
She's like on behalf of them, you mean? Like,
I guess.
Okay. Oh, in protest again. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, great. Well, I would say what should we talk about? Internet fucketry. Well, YouTube's down. That's pretty much internet fucketry.
Yes, it is.
But I'm sure there are other things that have happened today. So, Satsu, do you have anything?
In regards to what again? I'm sorry.
Internet fucketry.
Fucketry. I didn't really engage in much fucketry because when I went to go look, oddly enough, I didn't find much. I did still see, you know, some people still talking about the what's her face, Pocahontas. Yeah. But it was mostly just really confused leftists who know this is bullshit because they all have vague memories of them telling other people who claim that they have some type of heritage because of insert X amount of generations here to be able to talk on issues. And they're just kind of bouncing back and forth because they're like, we hate Trump. So no matter what the situation is, Trump is always the wrong person. So how do we deal with Trump being right about this and express that we're upset with her because she's pretending to be something that she's not without sounding like we're defending Trump? And it's pretty hilarious to watch because basically they're just stepping all over each other. And there's the diehards who are telling them, you better not fucking utter any word that isn't, you hate Trump and Trump is wrong about this and he owes her money. I don't care about the narrative. I don't care what it looks like. Yes, we look like hypocrites, but don't you fucking dare defend Trump. And they're just like, but she lied though. And it's like, and it's pretty hilarious because it's they're all fighting amongst themselves, and it's funny to watch from an outside view.
Well, all it means is that Elizabeth Warren is not going to be president.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's just oh, and apparently Greg Gutfeld made the same comparison I did early this morning on his show today, asking, comparing it to Michael Dukakis and the tank as one of the probably go down as one of the most worst campaign images or decisions or stunts in history. And yeah, I was trying to think today. I was like, what's the only other like complete and utter bomb campaign stunt I can recall in my lifetime? And yeah, Dukakis and the tank for some reason stuck out. And I'm sure there are others, what was the guy's name? The guy that was making the campaign speech, and he like was screaming.
Oh, Howard Dean.
Howard Dean, yeah. And I never really understood why that was such a big deal. That seemed to be pumped up far beyond reason to me. But
because he came off as crazy.
Yeah, I know. I never really saw it as really that big of a deal, but that was just me.
Well, the middle ground argument is she got manipulated by Trump's racism, right. And Trump somehow used her to force her into a bad position so she would be in a bad spot to run.
So
and then I wish she didn't do that.
So she has no control over her own actions. So this is totally presidential material. Yeah, she has dug a hole for herself at this point. She's got nowhere to go, and I think her political aspirations are, if not done, ridiculously hampered by her own folly at this point.
You think she's going to drop out?
No, she'll probably be up on a stage debating. But this entire thing will overshadow and undercut anything else she has to say in the public's mind, and definitely the Democratic electorate after the whole Cherokee Nation says, stop saying that you're a Cherokee.
Yeah, well, the fucked up part is this shit was bubbling under the surface for a long time. Apparently, this goes back quite some time, and people have been really kind of avoiding talking about it. And she just like, hey, remember this thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the reverse Streisand effect. You know, it's like I'm gonna settle this once and for all, and all you did was just make it worse. So.
Yeah. So
let's see. Everybody's telling us that YouTube is down. Yes, YouTube is down worldwide, guys. Supposedly, I'm not daring to check, like refreshing my page right now because I don't want to lose chat or anything else on the off chance. So,
well, yeah, I'm scrolling through Twitter, just looking at the fucketry.
Yeah. Let's see. So, did I have any fucketry today? I'm pretty sure I did, or at least a little bit. One second here. Let's see if Twitter's already screwed up too. Come on. Let me see my own Can I see my own profile now, please? Please?
This article says, do not panic, but YouTube is suffering an outage.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, the not really fucketry, but I guess after a fashion it is. Dennis Hoff, the owner of the Bunny Ranch, one of Nevada's most famous brothels, has died. How? I'm not quite sure. I can't read the story from the Washington Post, but he was found dead after a party, so I'm guessing probably a heart attack or something. He was not a very healthy-looking man.
No.
What else? I'll save that for deep topic time. Oh, yeah, and Donald Trump called Stormy Daniels a horse face on Twitter today.
And she responded by calling him tiny.
Yeah. She also called him a Yeti a month ago or a couple weeks back or something. So, yeah, people calling each other names over Twitter, especially high-profile people these days. That's news. And one thing, though, I made a joke today at Comcast's expense. So they posted an ad for something called some Halloween special called Project Dead Zone, which is live right now, apparently. It's some kind of like Ghost Hunters kind of thing. And I commented, and here I thought Project Dead Zone was Comcast's description of their own service quality.
Nice.
Now, but here's the thing. I got a reply back from Comcast.
Oh, what'd they say?
said, we definitely want to make sure all of your services are working as they should be. If you're running into any issues, use the following link to DM your account number. An agent from our digital care team can help. And it's signed Cece. And I was like, the response is very much appreciated. Just poking a bit of fun is all. Thank you so much. And they replied back, we're available to help with anything you need. Reach out anytime. Smiley face, Cece. I was like, okay, well, there you go. Hey, no, all props to Comcast. You know, it's like, usually when I think of like, when I should have said something effective like Project Dead Zone sounds more like what Monkey Service is from time to time. But I didn't want to drag him into that. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that they responded at all. But their response was very polite and very attentive. So hey, all credit.
That sounded like a mobile game response.
Well, I mean, let's see. What else we got? Anyway, that's all the fucketry I had at hand. Monkey, do you have anything?
I have a couple here. The first one isn't so much internet fucketry, it's just fucketry in general. Did you guys see the thing about the Belgian mechanic working on the F-16?
Oh, I saw that you posted something about that. I didn't read the story, though.
A Belgian mechanic working on an F-16 accidentally fired off the 20-millimeter Vulcan gun and blew up another F-16 sitting on the tarmac.
Holy
that's an expensive mistake.
No matter how bad of a day you've had at work, you have never had a day that bad.
Yeah, most definitely. At that point, I'd have just got in that bitch and flew off.
Yep, just leave. Fuck it. I would have immigrated to some other country. Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine his face when it happened. The moment, okay, first the gun goes off, right? That's got to startle the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then an F-16 blows up. Yeah, there's pictures of it too. Not of the explosion, but of the charred out F-16 remains. So again, not internet fucketry, just some silly fucketry to laugh at.
I'm seeing people saying that YouTube's back up and running. So I don't know if that's true, but if somebody wants to take a look and see,
refresh here,
get some reports on.
Mine's not.
Yours isn't? Okay.
I'm not.
And YouTube did just issue a statement about 25 minutes ago now saying they know the issue. They're working on it.
Yep. So most people probably listening to this, if they're listening to it at all in the future. So apologies, guys. This was technical difficulties beyond our control, but that's what you get with live broadcasts.
YouTube got attacked by Saudi Arabia.
No, let's see. Who are they going to blame it on? It's either Russian bots or Alex Jones. Gamergate, Alex Jones. Gamergate and Alex Jones. So deep topic time. So I watched not the entire thing because it was like 4 hours long, but I watched part of a live stream today that happened last night where one of the YouTubers that I watch quite a bit, which is called Mini a True Nerd, he's done these epic Fallout runs of all the major games. Like he has a series called You Only Live Once, where he goes through the entire game doing all the missions on one health bar on survival difficulty. He's done these epic like kill everything runs where it's like I have to go through the entire game and kill everything that I can in the whole game. So he was one of the guys that was invited to the special Fallout 76 preview down in West Virginia, and he did a long Q&A stream with all his fans talking about what his experience was, what he liked, what he didn't like, etc. Now this guy has gone like he's super duper deep into Fallout stuff. He's a super duper Fallout fan. So if there's there's few people that I would trust to have a really knowledgeable eye for gameplay regarding Fallout and lore and all that kind of thing. And one of the first questions he was asked was, do you think 76 is going to end up being Bethesda's Tactics or Brotherhood of Steel game. And if you guys don't know, there were two games, Fallout Tactics and Fallout, what is it called? I think it was called Brotherhood of Steel or something like that, that are not considered part of the Fallout franchise because they were either really bad or inconsequential. And so the guys and John, the YouTuber, there's this long pause, and he says, "It's entirely possible." And so I'm kind of like, "Oh no." So I don't know what you guys have heard about 76 or anything else, but I'm getting a feeling that I may regret buying AAA before I've seen it in action. What do you guys think?
I think there's a lot of people who they're diehards about their game, not realizing that their Fallout game isn't like the originals, and that the same arguments were made when Fallout 3 came out about how this isn't Fallout. Go fuck yourselves. It'll be a fine game. The only thing that may kill it is the PvP aspect of it. They need to handle that very, very carefully. And if they do, I think it'll be fun.
I don't know. I think if anything's gonna fuck this game, it's going to be the bugs, the glitches in their network service. That's the only way I can think that this is just going to just kind of cave in on itself. Is there's going to be a lot of kind of game breaking, really glitchy, making the game completely and totally imbalanced type bugs that people are going to immediately start digging up. And I don't think their network's going to be holding up too well when the game first comes out. And that's just from past release. I will say that they got a bunch of experience from Elder Scrolls Online, and I hear that over time that has gotten better. But it never starts off good. So hopefully we'll see.
The thing that I guess concerns me is that the survival aspect is pretty dumbed down as compared to what was kind of intimated in the original thing. And everything I'm hearing from the people that were there doing the live stuff is that the story content is very impersonal. Like, since you don't have human NPCs to go talk to or towns to visit and things like that, everything's on like audio files or terminal stuff. So if you're looking to be sort of engrossed in the lore, even if it's, not heavy lore, there's not much there. It's difficult to get into. And if you're there for sort of the base building survival aspect, it's, as compared to things like the forest or, raft or even survival mode on Fallout 4, it's pretty light. So what I'm hoping is that they either add some features or some preferences to it so you can have a survival server, someplace where it's actually a challenge. It requires teamwork in order to get things done and make it more interesting that way. And that it's not just going to be like, paint by numbers kind of stuff in the beginning. That's the one thing I'm hoping for, is that if you're not going to have a big, heavy story content thing, since it's not meant to be sort of a first person or a single player game, that there's some sense of accomplishment and achievement in surviving in the world after a fashion. But I'm not quite sure if that's present now or if they're going to have that come down the pike. I'm hoping so, in like a private server or something.
Like, it's all going to depend on how they do it. With what they've told us, what we've heard so far, I'm not too worried. But until we actually get our hands on it, it's hard to say. Could it be Tactics? Tactics was the one that really pissed people off because they're like, this is just not a Fallout game. Some people absolutely love Tactics, though. I don't know. I think there's too many purists out there in the gaming world who don't even, like I said, with this, they don't even realize that the pureness they're asking for isn't pure to begin with. I think there's a lot of people who want to see this fail because it's not a new single player Fallout game. I've seen people who haven't even seen footage before any of the footage came out, just shitting all over how bad it's going to be because this isn't what Fallout is supposed. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The only reason I'm buying this sort of survival team game is because it's Fallout. Because
right.
I like the setting. I like the style of the story. I like the sort of post-apocalyptic setting they've created for the thing. I don't expect it, like just like with any game that has sort of a weird continuity to it, I don't expect it to be like perfectly in line with everything that's necessarily been said before, but I do expect it to be a Fallout game in the sense that I feel like I'm still in that world after a fashion, that universe, even if the gameplay mechanics are different because this is a live game versus a single player game. So I hope that at least feels ostensibly like the Fallout universe, if nothing else. That's my, that was the main draw for me to buy this. Like I say, I never ever pre-order anything given the track record that so many AAA games have had with pre-orders, and like Satsu said, all the beginning bugs and things. I didn't play the Old Republic until about a year and a half, 2 years after it came out, because I figured they're going to change so much shit. They're going to overhaul this thing. There's going to be so many things to hammer out. I might as well come in, later on when they've got all the big stuff figured out for the early game, and I can worry about the other stuff later. So this is a diversion from my usual patterns for me. So I am kind of concerned about that. But at some point in the near future, we need to talk about, for whatever minor amount of role playing there is, what our characters are and what they do.
I occasionally will buy a brand new game. I was there on the launch for Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not nearly as horrible as everybody said it was. Let's see, even with my shitty internet connection, I only got disconnected like 3 times during that whole first night, and I played for hours.
Grim Dawn's better than Diablo 3.
I would agree. Grim Dawn is more Diablo 2-esque, which was a better overall game.
Oh, and guys, be on the lookout when Steam has their Halloween sale. Look for Grim Dawn. It'll be cheap probably, and if it is, give it a shot. If you like Diablo 2 especially, and you like Diablo 3, because I think Grim Dawn is better as an overall game like that. And the lore, if you're a Lovecraft fan and you like Diablo, Grim Dawn's got something for you in there. Sorry, I'm drinking my drink. Let's see, we got a few minutes left. Any other deep topics come to mind about video games or otherwise?
No.
You guys are all sorts of interesting tonight. I mean, I have stories about spooky stalkers and Fallout and stuff, and nothing. You guys are just kind of...
Is that how you really feel, Scribe?
I don't know. I don't feel anything anymore.
I feel hungry. That's what I feel.
You're always hungry.
That is partially.
When are you going to do your cooking channel or whatever?
When I fucking get space.
Space.
Yeah, it's almost impossible, man. And like I said, Squishy is not the best camera person, and she's rarely home to begin with. So it's such a hassle to do that it like takes the enjoyment out of just cooking. So I need to get in a spot where I can, kind of set up something. Because I'm thinking of doing like maybe a 3-camera setup where it's like the kitchen, the oven or stove or whatever, and then the countertop where I prep. And I got this whole thing planned. You'll see.
Okay.
It happens.
Peter Hades asked, does 76 have the slow-mo targeting system like New Vegas, etc.? Well, VATS in the game is different. Instead of slowing down time, basically it gives you an increased chance to hit and with certain bonuses and things, increased chance of criticals on non-aimed gunfire. So if you turn VATS on and you're just kind of running around and you sort of aim in the general direction of bad guy X or whatever, you get a percentage to hit that, depending on cover and distance and other things, will increase or decrease. And the better that your perception is, and or with certain bonus cards you get as you play through the game, that chance increases where you can sort of like hit guys automatically, or with a lot better chance of just sort of like from firing from the hip without having to aim. That's my understanding of it. Now, we've only seen footage from like the first few levels of the game. Presumably in the mid game, once you've gotten your stats up high enough, or you found the bonus cards and things that affect VATS or your aiming capabilities, different things will happen with that. But it's not a slowdown, because the game is obviously operating live since there's other people running around.
The dude I was watching play said he pretty much designated that for like small creatures that he couldn't really aim at.
Right.
So
yeah, conceivably you could have a build where you just focus on that and you just become like a dead-eye shot on everything as a sniper or something else. But we haven't seen how those mechanics will work down the line. And now I've got the live Comcast Paranormal Investigators thing in front of me, because Twitter wants me really wants me to see this. And they're running around. There's a girl who's got basically like a PKE meter from Ghostbusters running around this house. This is really silly. But I've never watched these ghost hunter shows. Well, I can't say that completely. I've seen an episode or two, but I never gave them much attention.
They're stupid.
YouTube seems to be bad, guys.
Okay. Although there was one, it was a short, I've talked about this before, I think. There was one show that was on very briefly. It was called Extreme Paranormal. And what these guys did is that they would go to these places that were supposedly haunted. And instead of like, aiming a camera at a dark room and going, "Hello, is there anybody out there? Would you like to talk to us?" They basically walk in there and go, "Hey, ghosts, you fucking assholes, show yourselves." They do all like horrible things to like try to anger the spirits, and do like things that would like they went to some like voodoo swamp or something and started like doing rituals to try to piss off the spirits to make them appear or do stuff.
Yeah,
well. It was like a Jackass Paranormal or something. But
if I did believe in spirits, that is the thing you don't do.
Yeah, exactly. You would think. Oh, this is so staged. They're standing there in this like house that looks like it's like colonial Victorian or something, and a lamp just suddenly went on and off in front of them. I'm like, oh, fuck you. This is so silly. Anyway, I'm not actually. I'm watching it in silent because I don't have any sound on. But so is YouTube back up?
It's still not working for me, but it might be working for some other people.
Well, let me try mine just on the off chance. Mine's working. Okay, so mine's working just fine. Lords of the Night is coming up. 54 people watching. Oh boy, we really got cut tonight. On my night, it all falls apart. Why couldn't this happen on Sunday? Anyway, I'm curious to know if they'll ever give us an explanation as to what happened. But the fact that it went down worldwide is pretty interesting. So let's go to chat time, guys. For those of you that are here, it is now your time. If you have questions, comments, conspiracy theories, complaints that have nothing to do with YouTube's performance, because we have nothing to do with that, put them in the chat. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of question marks after your question so we know it's for us and not something that you're responding to in chat. So while we wait for those to come up, let's see. You guys are streaming tomorrow night, yes?
Yes.
We'll be in the forest.
7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die. So, guys, tomorrow night on 2 cents plus 7 Days to Die after the Lords of the Night stream. And, of course, the Lords of the Night stream tomorrow will be on I almost said Grand Monkey's channel.
Might as well be.
Yeah, it practically is when she's around on Ranting Monkey's channel. Let's see. Your boy Pat says, Scribe, did you see Brittany Vente got a $30,000 donation?
Yep.
Is that true?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes. Well, she got a $20,000 donation, and then she got another one.
Is that I wonder if it's that guy that does that. There's someone out there who's just some insane billionaire or something. No,
it wasn't him. This is
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, this is a different person. I saw her little video she made about it.
Now I wonder, did they do that and then immediately rescind it?
No, not so far, at least.
Wow. I don't know why. Brittany Vente. You don't know about Brittany Vente?
I don't know names well. I see faces and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. But
Brittany Vente is a Twitch streamer, and she has this character that is a airhead girl named Brittany Vente.
Oh, the little dumb white girl.
Yeah, that's not a character.
It's somewhat of a character. She's not nearly as dumb as some of her videos have portrayed her because she's putting on kind of an act. But
have you watched her on stream?
I'm not saying that she's brilliant. I'm just saying that she plays it up a little bit here and there. Mr. Shadow says, did you see Hulu's tweet about Halloween and cultural appropriation? No, but I can only imagine. And then look at the kind of movies and things that Hulu posts just fine. Sean Pierce says, Scribe, have you seen Back to School starring Rodney Dangerfield? Yes. Let's see. Gregor says, is there a game series where even if one of the games sucked, you'd still play it out of appreciation for the series, lore, etc.?
No.
There isn't?
No, I might buy it and then I start playing it and go, this game sucks, and stop.
Oh, and never play the series again?
Well, not play that game again.
Well, no, that's what he asked. Is there a game series where even if one of the games sucked, you'd still play it out of appreciation for the series? I mean, you'd have to play it first to know it sucked. So, I mean, if you're waiting for reviews or something, yeah, I suppose. But
I don't know of any series that I like that ever made a game bad enough that I didn't want to play.
I would say Andromeda from Mass Effect. And the way I took that is not that you'd stop playing the whole series. Is they're asking if you play that one game, even though it's
yeah, that's what I took it.
Okay, my bad. I'm such a completionist on some things. If I paid money for it, I'd probably play through it. But if I got it on cheap from Steam, no. If I paid actual money for it, I'd play. Yeah. If I got it for $5 off of Steam and I thought it sucked after about halfway through, I'd probably not. Gregor says, "How was the Pepper Jack Frost Scribe?" I still haven't actually done that yet. I kept forgetting to put Dr. Pepper into my ice cube tray. And I also thought about the fact that how would that work? I mean, if I mix up a pepper jack and then I put in the ice cubes, I'd just be putting more Dr. Pepper in with a pepper jack, because I can't do the thing where it's like, if I just have the ice cubes as the Dr. Pepper and I dump it into a glass of whiskey, I'm just going to be drinking straight whiskey for the longest time until the ice cubes melt. I got to figure that part out. I'm just going to have a diluted pepper jack, or I'll be drinking straight whiskey with a little bit of Dr. Pepper melting in it. Let's see. Ranting Monkey, have you seen Less Than Zero starring Robert Downey Jr.? Asked Jean Pierre.
Yes, I have. Good movie.
Depressing movie, but good movie. Pincalo says, Cindy come back, or hashtag Cindy come back. I guess that's your girlfriend or your stalker or something.
That's the girl that called me a rape apologist on my one morning stream.
All right. Kraz says, Scribe, it was revealed that Elon Musk likes anime on Twitter. What do you think? I think he's being truthful. I don't know. I don't know what Elon Musk likes. Let's see. Robert Doe says, what's wrong with drinking whiskey on the rocks, Scribe Light? I rarely drink liquor straight, unless it's vodka, and only then in small doses, like shots. When it comes to like taking liquor without some kind of mixer, I'm a bit of a lightweight in that regard. It doesn't do much for me except burn my throat. So let's see. Your boy Pat asked, Satsu, worst video game death you've seen? For me, it was Lara Croft getting impaled through the neck on the new Tomb Raider.
Oh man, that is pretty fucked up. But I think Dead Space probably provided me with some of the worst deaths in video games.
Like the end of 2 where you have to take the eye test.
Oh, dude, that fucked me up, man.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah, that game had some gruesome shit. When a fucking monster literally tears your fucking head off, sticks his fucking spine down your neck, and then walks away with your body.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Yeah. Dead Space
like,
1.
Shit.
Dead Space 1 it is almost like a perfect horror movie, sci-fi horror movie. They should have just stopped. They should, just let it sit there and do like I don't know. There's actually a novel. There's novels about that whole universe they put out. I bought a couple of them just because I was curious, and they kind of set it up like it's almost half supernatural, half aliens kind of stuff.
Yeah, the movies were interesting.
Yeah, the animated movies are all right. The one I like the best is the one that's like the prequel to it.
Yeah.
Where you get to see what was going on the ship before Isaac arrives and all that. But
I had the fortune, like I was fortunate enough to watch the movie and then play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like when you do it that way, the experience is much different because you kind of like you see things that you saw in the movie, and you read logs and shit that have references to people who were in the movie. Right. And you're just like, oh fuck, I remember that person.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to play it, to experience it that way.
Let's see. Jaster asks, Scribe, have you ever thought about getting a concealed carry and carrying? No. I'm no fan of guns. I don't have a problem with other people that own them and take care of them responsibly and everything else, but I've never been inclined. I can't say that I would never, but I've to this point I've never had a desire to. Let's see. Mr. Shah says, have you played the mobile game Satsu? The mobile Dead Space game?
I didn't play the mobile one, but I did play the VR one.
Oh god, that's got to be scary as hell.
It was interesting.
Corey says, get a slingshot. That guy was not Goliath. He was some skinny guy in a baseball cap and a trench coat with a satchel bag. It wasn't very intimidating to me, but then of course you don't need to be that intimidating if you're going to do something nasty to somebody.
What are my hopes for The Walking Dead season 9? Everybody fucking hates it and they're like, it's fucking stupid. I'm still interested, and just not saying that it's still good or anything, but I still want to know like what's gonna, because I done got this far. I'm just like, I'm gonna keep watching it because I want to know what's gonna happen.
There are
right. I hope Maggie takes over, and I hope she doesn't they don't just fucking put her through the same arc that Rick went through. And I really hope that that group that they met or whatever, who was like hooking them up or whatever, in the most recent, whoever watched the most recent one, you'll know what I'm talking about. I hope they don't turn out to be a fucking flop. And they pull that same shit where they're like, these people are not what they seem. They seem really nice, but they're evil. Like, I'm gonna be mad if that's the case. Like, I hope they're genuinely good people. But we'll see.
Most TV shows, in my experience, should stop after about 4 seasons, unless the creators have really planned out how they're going to carry a show past about that point. And a lot of shows don't have a plan past the first season. Stranger Things is a real good example of that. The first season was really interesting, and then by season 2, you saw that they completely run out of ideas. One of the exceptions, of course, is The Shield, where 7 seasons all interconnect. No episode was ever unimportant, and everything fit together because those guys are geniuses. But I've seen very few shows that can carry a narrative sanely forward or interestingly forward past about four, like the X-Files. I think the X-Files should have stopped after season 4, maybe season 5, and just been a series of movies after that, because they went like 9 seasons or something. It's like, stop, just stop.
I feel like Supernatural was like that.
That's, I've only watched a couple episodes of that show. That thing is completely fueled by the fans. I don't know if it's quality. I haven't watched enough to say yay, nay, or otherwise. I hope it's consistently good to justify its longevity, but that thing is just got such a crazy fan base. I got to respect that score.
I watched through 5 straight seasons, not in one sitting, of course, but and I never really got bored.
Monkey, are you there? You've been really quiet.
I'm here.
Okay. Are we
nothing to add so far.
We boring you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Gregory Hurst, horror movie that hasn't had a sequel, but you really think should have one.
My Little Pony.
I would have said Tales from the Hood too, but
I still haven't watched that. I meant to watch that. I forgot about that.
Oh my god!
A horror movie that should have a sequel.
I can't think of any. They all get sequels.
Yeah, most horror movies that I know of have franchises for the most part, or they weren't that good in the first place, or by the reverse, they were fine just as a standalone kind of thing.
Oh my god!
I'll have to think about that one.
Scribe, I'm gonna give you more incentive to go see this movie as soon as you get a chance. The last line in the movie is "Welcome to hell, motherfucker."
Yeah, right. I gotta look up. Is it actually Clarence Williams III in that? Because
I feel like, I swear, I was just like, that's him, man. It looks just like him.
Tales from the Hood 2. Where's the cast?
If it's not him,
nope.
It's not him.
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah, he's not.
He looks like that motherfucker, man.
Yeah, nope, not him. But yeah, because I was thinking, I would have been amazed if they got him back, because it just seems like that's one of those things that you wouldn't do again. Oh no, that's not Clarence Williams III. That's is that Keith David?
I don't know who the fuck he.
No,
all I know is he did it.
I thought Keith David was a white dude.
No, Keith David. Keith David's from They Live. He was Childs in The Thing.
Those references mean nothing to me.
You've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing?
No.
Neither have I.
Okay, well, guys, we know what we're going to do for movies you should have watched Halloween session. Monkey has never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, which is insane to me. Have we had this conversation before?
I don't think so, but the only thing Monkey's interested in is his own. So,
yeah, well,
that's not true. I like Lady Monkey's Thing.
You've seen They Live, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen They Live.
Okay, you know the 5-minute fight between Roddy Piper and the black guy?
Yeah.
The black guy is Keith David.
Okay.
Yeah, Keith David is the Clarence Williams character in this one. So yeah, okay. At least they got somebody who's got a good voice.
Oh, okay.
I missed a question up here. Lesser Logic says, Scribe Light, do you really, really, really like The Hunt for Red October? Yes. I think it's an awesome movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Ranting Monkey, what is your favorite Matt Dillon movie? Says Jean. Jean Pierre is asked some really obscure questions. Do you have a favorite Matt Dillon movie, Monkey?
Dillon?
No.
How about A Kiss Before Dying? Holy cats. Thank you, Prospero. Get a Streamlabs, please, 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 so you can keep the De Niro for yourself entirely. Well, first, thank you so much, Prospero. That's very generous of you. Like I've said before, I'm still not quite sure about the tax documentation that Streamlabs provides its recipients, because I don't know if they track it for you and send you a form. Since they're not taking any money out, I'm not quite sure what the system is on that. And like I say, I don't want to have to try to track my income from Streamlabs myself or do some crazy tax form stuff that I could fuck up. So if I got some information on that, I might feel better about getting a Streamlabs. On the flip side of it, I've said this before too, I don't pay anybody to use this service to live stream with anybody. This is all free for the most part. So after a fashion, if I have to pay a little bit of rent to have the ability to use the tools that YouTube provides, whatever else you might say about their policies and everything else, I don't really have a problem with that because it seems like a fair trade after, so to speak. So again, if I get some more information on Streamlabs and how they report end of year income for tax purposes and everything else, and I feel comfortable with that, then I may do so. But for now, I'm just waiting. I'm assuming that Satsu and or Monkey will soon have an answer to that question once tax time comes around at the first of the year. So let's see. Harvest Mower says, Scribe Light, you guys talk about the immigrants heading this way and Trump's response. Yes, we did. Talked about the caravan. Adonis Bartolote, how do you get your palm read for free? Finger a gypsy on her period. That's
nasty.
That's really gross. Thank you, Adonis. Let's see. Kraz, is 7 days to die even good anymore?
Yes.
There you go. Nothing for you here. Does anyone have any ideas on what happened to YouTube, and did some of you here not experience an outage? Well, we had at least 60 people that were here the whole time, so some people were still able to hear us, although the video wasn't coming through. But then we don't stream video most of the time, so it didn't really matter. As far as what happened to YouTube, I am assuming they did some kind of update or code thing or something, and it was a complete glitch. And I don't know. Devil Fruit Zero says, Scribe Light, did you guys go through the YouTube outage? The entire world did in one fashion or another. Some people were able to still listen to us afterwards. Some people got cut off. It's been a kooky night in that regard. Target says, you kept streaming with your people in the trenches dying without YouTube? What? You kept streaming? Well, yeah, I mean, I can't tell from here who can hear us or not, and presumably after we're done with the stream, it'll still be a complete stream that people can listen to later. So, the show must go on, as they say.
The sacrifices we make for you people.
I know, right? Bad Comic Review says, Mundane Matt flagged all of YouTube. That's what happened. Oh.
That's not nice.
Lucifer Never Changed says, YouTube died on me and it just came back up. Sorry, I missed a lot of the show. Hey, you don't have to apologize. This is YouTube's fault. We kept pushing on through because we're professionals like that. But, the whole stream, like I say, fingers crossed, it'll be available to listen to in its entirety after we close up tonight. Let's see. Aethertoe says, I listened through the whole thing just with a message that says video is unavailable. Like I said, that's the advantages of us not really doing video streams so much as just being a radio show for all intents and purposes. Let's see. Yoda says Pakistan banned YouTube, so most connections rerouted to Pakistan due to the freed traffic. I don't know if that's true or what that means exactly. Stargazer Nut says it was a joke. Sigh. Well, I can't. There's no inflection in text. I can't tell you were joking. I don't know. I take you at your word. I read and believe, guys. That's what I do.
Scribe's one of them filthy listening believers.
No, not listen. Read. Read and believe. I read and I believe that I will spot grammar errors in most people's writing, especially Chris Solis's.
Well, you're listening to you reading it in your head.
That's very deep of you. Almost metaphysical. I'm listening to me read it in my head.
You are.
Let's see. Lesser Logic says, my kid almost cried because I couldn't play him a song he likes before bed. Damn it, YouTube. Yeah, damn it, YouTube. Ruining that kid's bedtime.
That's not cool.
That's when you bust out the speaking voice. What you talk about?
Devil Fruit Zero says, Scribe Light, that outage is the scariest thing to happen this October. No, being followed in the dark lockstep by a stranger is the scariest thing to happen to me this October so far. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Alan Sawyer asks, what do you guys play 7 days on, PC or console?
PC.
PC. I used to play on console, but no longer.
Shiogorath says, for what it's worth, it's my dad's 52nd birthday, and yes, I got him a deck of cards. And then Shiogorath says, Brian. Now, I'm assuming you're saying your dad's name is Brian, because that would be the next question Monkey would ask when it's time to sing happy birthday. Monkey.
Are we singing?
Well, it's Shiogorath's dad's birthday.
And his name is Brian. Brian, are you out there? Are you listening? Your son tells really dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Some that I can't read on air, but he's still a good guy. And because of him, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Missed the whole stream and come in for this shit, huh?
Happy birthday to you.
You lucky fucks.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Okay.
Happy birthday. I hope he had a very nice birthday. I really do.
Aren't you glad YouTube came up for that?
Yeah, it sounds like somebody stabbed Gollum in the chest and forced him to sing happy birthday.
Stupid fat hobbits.
Let's see. Oh, the agony, oh, the horror, evil singing, says Ryan Rawlings. Well, just stop having birthdays, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's the cure. Froggy says,
yeah, if you weren't born, we wouldn't have this problem.
Froggy says, Scribe Light, you need to take a pocket knife or box cutter with you tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'd rather not be caught with a weapon on me if something kooky happens. I have my
box cutters are
I have other ways. Tell that to 9/11. Thank you, Shiogorath. $1 for our trouble. Blue Planet says, Scribe Light, did you see the YouTube is basically demonetizing channels for using profanity in streams and vids? Yes, we have heard that and talked about that. Given how little our channels, sorry. Hello.
Satsu cleared his voice.
Oh, I thought he was okay. We've talked about how how little our collective videos actually make on advertisements, just on the basis that most of us get demonetized anyway. It doesn't really affect us for the most part. I don't swear that much in my videos, but then except for the streams, I don't monetize my videos, so it doesn't bother me too much. So.
The original Shroom is chat. Dude, I hope you're doing well down there.
Yeah. Good evening, all. I finally got a connection tonight, he says. Yeah, you got a connection on the night that YouTube was down. I'm glad you got it now rather than earlier.
Yeah, well, I never fucking cuss on my video.
And he turned 59 last Sunday.
You got a hurricane for your birthday?
Apparently so.
That's fucked up, man. Let me make that better for you, because I see you're out there. I'm not sure how long you'll be able to listen, but Shroom, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Can Shroom survive hurricanes?
Happy birthday to you.
I want to know the answer to this.
Happy birthday to the original Shroom.
Well, he's still alive, so I guess that's a yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, and stay safe down there. He says he's got no power and no water. It's a tragic reality of hurricanes that a whole mass of water leads to water shortages. Hopefully they get you squared away soon, bud.
Thank you, Robert Doe. Tabarnak. Tabarnak? Tabarnak. I don't know what that means. I always want to say tabernacle, but I know that's not what it was. I don't know, but thank you, Robert Doe, whatever that means. Ebony Williams asks, Satsu, have you seen A Silent Voice?
What?
Have you seen A Silent Voice?
Is that a movie?
I don't know.
No, I haven't seen A Silent Voice.
All
In
right.
fact, I've never seen any voices.
Let's see. Jean-Pierre says, why did Robert Downey Jr. have a better acting career after Iron Man? He didn't. He had a more high-profile career after Iron Man, but he's been a good actor forever. His career was kind of in the doldrums a little bit before Iron Man because of his personal life and everything else, but he just kind of reemerged thanks to the popularity of Iron Man. Most movies he's done since, aside from Iron Man, haven't been very high profile or all that successful, like The Judge. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, however, is one that is great, and everybody should see it because it's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, Shroom, that's great. His first grandchild is due within 12 hours.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
awesome, dude.
Oh gosh, you have
Congratulations.
2 family birthdays within a week of each other. Yay! Let's see. Richard Moreau says, Scribe Light, it is a French-Canadian swear. Oh, tabernac? Okay, what does it mean? Because I don't speak French-Canadian.
Ebony says it's an anime movie. Okay, gotcha.
Metal Slugs Master. So what's your streams about? Just a little bit of everything? Well, Metal Slugs Master, we have a format. We have about half hour worth of the current events news. Then we have about half an hour of a mix of news submitted by our viewers. What we three or whoever's on the stream have been up to on a YouTube scale. Then we talk about any things we've seen on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube that we call internet fucketry for about 15 or 20 minutes. Then the second hour starts off about a half an hour of either deep topic. We find something very deep to discuss and focus on, or in the absence of that, we read advice columns for our own entertainment, or in the absence of that, we just talk about random stuff. And then the last half hour, we dedicate to answering questions from viewers like you, if I go PBS for a second. So there you go. Thank you, Inedible Trout. What's the dumbest animal in the jungle? A polar bear. Ah ha 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 ha. Very good. Let's see. So Scribe says, what was the ending of the story? Oh, yeah, because everybody, apparently the big cutoff of people being able to hear us was when I was talking about my creepy guy story. Okay, well, I will give a brief recitation. So walking to work very early this morning in the dark, guy standing on the sidewalk where I never see people before, just staring at me. And as soon as I start passing him, he turns and walks beside me lockstep, step for step for about a block and a half, creeping the fuck out of me. I eventually get ahead of him. I'm able to take a route that shows he's not following me directly behind, but as I get to my office, I see he's still coming from the other direction. I eventually lose him, I think, as I get to my office, but I didn't turn the lights on in my office at first because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't want him to know where I worked or anything. So I kind of watched him from the windows for a little bit as he kind of paced around the parking lot as though he were looking for me, although I don't know. And then he disappeared around the corner. So I may or may not see him tomorrow morning. I'm hoping not. But if I do, I'm going to try to get around the guy. I'm not going to confront him unless something happens, but I don't know. It was just a very odd, creepy, awkward experience, and I haven't had anything like that quite happen before. So let's see. Ryan Rawlings says, yeah, we heard you ducked into a side street and it died. The Scribe Light died then, I assume. Well, again, if you go back to the beginning of the stream after this is all posted, you can listen to the full story with all my vague details because it's hard to describe, street orientations and geography and such in words only.
Monk says drop kick that fucker in the dick. That would be funny.
Well, like I say, I took some martial arts way back when, so I can use my feet and my hands if I need be, but Fingers crossed it never comes up again. So
Karate chop him to the throat.
let's see. Random American says Scribe as a real stalker, unlike Monkey's Twitter one. Well, I prefer a Twitter one versus a real one.
Oh, Mr. Shadow says Trump linked a retweet he had made. No joke. Nice.
Oh. Congratulations. You're famous.
Did you say something about horse faces?
Yes, we talked about that briefly.
No, I was asking him.
Oh. Let's see. 1 minute to go, guys. Bad Comic Review says it was Ted Cruz's dad. I hear that he was the Zodiac Killer. I hear a lot of people's dads were the Zodiac Killer. There's a guy.
Ted Cruz was the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, I thought he was. But there was also a book called The Black Dahlia Avenger. A guy who wrote a story about the Black Dahlia killing and made the claim that his father killed the Black Dahlia. But in a later book, he also claimed his father was also Zodiac. So that guy's a little nuts. Let's see. Yoda says, well, if you don't show up on YouTube, we'll assume what happened, Scribe Light. Okay, by all means, make up your own fanfic about my creepy dark of the morning stalker guy. But anyway. Guys, that is the end of the stream. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Those of you that could, those of you that are listening to this in the future, it's YouTube's fault, and we are just at the mercy of the internet gods on this one. So appreciate you guys listening to it either way. Everyone in the chat, those of you who are here and able to stick with us, thank you so much for doing so on a tumultuous night, insofar as YouTube's concerned. You guys are the best audience one could ever ask for and beyond. Thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things, even though our chat is, in relative terms, the most well-behaved chat that I see on any given day. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really, really do appreciate it. Remember, guys, tomorrow night we are on Monkey's channel per usual, and then after that stream over on 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Satsu will be playing 7 Days to Die and fighting zombies and such. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, bye. Your lives and YouTube makes us sad. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Fuck off.
You're such a ray of sunshine.
I am. I get that a lot.
So let's see. Today's word is going to come from, as usual, Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism.
Why does it say we're off air?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume it doesn't for the moment because now I'm going to be picking out the secret word. So here we go. Random page. Survey says today's secret word is... Oh. Well, okay, why not? Today's secret word is platform.